So I just want to talk about the two books I just recently read, and also I'm going to have a book haul at the end. So I did a video on TikTok where I recommended some indie author novellas that you could read to reach your reading goal. And I also said, if you have some indie author recs, drop it down below. One of the authors whose book I recommended actually commented different authors that she recommends me reading. And so I read one of theirs, and I read Juneteenth by Tony, I think it's Love. It might be LaRue. I think it's Tony LaRue actually. So this one follows Marcus, who lost his 12-year-old son Jamal due to a confrontation. So the guy was having a confrontation with Marcus, and he pulled out a gun and ended up shooting the 12-year-old son instead. And so Marcus sought justice for his son. Justice never came, so he went and took revenge into his own hands. And the whole premise is that it was a white man who killed his son, and they were like, is it racial? Was there more to it? And there was so much that they were unpacking after the fact. The whole premise of Juneteenth was that they were putting up a memorial in honor of his son on Juneteenth. But if you like S.A. Cosby books, you would like that book. That book was so good. It was heartbreaking. It was well written. It was impactful. It was action packed. It was very good. It was short, very short read. I forgot how many pages it was, but I read it in 3 hours. And so very quick, easy read. But I was like, I actually haven't made a video on TikTok about it yet, but I definitely would recommend that book. And I am so like grateful that she recommended that book, because I've never even heard of that indie author before, ever. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about their books, and I thought that book was so good. I also read Rootless by Crystal Zara Appia, and that one follows, it starts with a couple days before or something like that, or a couple days, yeah, and then it went back to, I think, 20 years before, and it's not telling you what the before is, and so that's the lead up to what happened. And so it follows Effie, who I want to say she's Ghanaian. She's from Ghana. So Ghanaian, right? Why does that sound funny? I don't know, but so it follows her, and she goes off to college, and she meets Sam, and like it progresses. I mean, like it progresses 20 years into the past, 15 years, like whatever, so often. And Sam continues to be in her life. Eventually they get married. Situation happened between them. When I tell you, like, these were two of the most selfish people that I've read in a book, it was crazy. Sam pushed her into doing something she did not want to do, and she expressed she did not want to do from college. And so he pushed her into that, and then she was regretful. She also made a decision without his knowledge, and I don't want to give it away, but there was a decision she made that I agree with, but then what decision followed after, I was like, girl, no. And then what it was leading up to, like the whole, 20 years before, I felt like that whole lead up was unnecessary. I was like, what was the point of that ending? Like, what was the actual point of that? To me, it felt like Sam and Effie didn't know each other, like, to the core. Like, they knew surface level, like, oh, they loved each other and they knew each other, but like to the core of their being, they did not understand each other. And for them being married for like 10 years or 9-10 years or something, and having known each other like 10 or so years in the past, I'm like, I feel like, come on now. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. Like, sorry. I also felt like we didn't really know them. Most of it, I guess, was just showing us like that they stood firm in their beliefs, but it was hard to sympathize with either one of them because like we didn't really get to know them, you know what I mean? And so, but I will say I did not like Sam. I didn't like him for majority of the book. And then there was, after Effie made her follow-up decision to the original decision that I agree with, I did not like her. And so I was like, oh my God. Overall, the book itself was written well. I thought like the plot, she was going somewhere with it. I just felt like the execution maybe wasn't perfect, but overall it was a good book. I had a good time reading it. That was just my thing with it. Now onto the book haul, because I don't want this video to be super long. I received The Devil She Knows by Alexandria Bellafleur from Penguin Random House. This one publishes October 21st of this year. I believe it's a sapphic romance. I am extremely excited for it. And I think it's a sapphic monster. And would you call the devil a monster? I think, I don't know. Anywho, I'm excited for this one. And then Barnes & Noble was having a buy three romances for $25. First they said buy 3 for $25. They didn't clarify that it was romances. But when we went on the website, it was romances. But anyway, I typically don't buy books from Barnes & Noble. Like I buy books locally from a book sale where the woman like puts it on every first weekend of the month, or I buy it from one of the indie bookstores next to me. But yeah, I've only shopped at Barnes & Noble once, and that was because I literally had a gift card for my birthday last year, I believe. So that was the one time I shopped at Barnes & Noble. But because they had that sale, my husband got me 3 books. So I got Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. I don't know what this one is about. Yeah, it was a select romances, a select few. So he had slim pickings, or I guess I had slim pickings. I picked it myself. But Desperate Measures. And then I got If Love Had a Price by Anna Huang. I want to say this is her first series. I think so. And so to my understanding, characters in this series appear in the Twisted series, which I've read book 1 and 2 of the Twisted series. So I don't know which characters appear. This is actually book 3. They didn't have book 1 and 2. So this is book 3. He'll just have to give me 1 and 2. But I'm excited. It has the sprayed edges. Did I show this one had sprayed edges as well? And lastly, I got If We Were Perfect, also by Anna Huang. This is the 4th book in the If Love series. So I'm excited to get into them when I get book 1 and 2. I don't really know how the series are. I believe they're interconnected standalones like her other one, so I'm sure I could read it as I have it. But again, I don't know, because I used to think all romances was like that until I just read Flock and Exodus, and no, they follow one single storyline. You have to read that one in order, absolutely. So I don't know how this one goes, but I'm excited. Anyway, so these are the books I just recently got. And the TBR keeps growing. It just keeps growing. I'm sorry, I apologize. Anywho, oh, also, ew. I'm noticing that these books right here, they don't sit at the same, oh shoot, that was reckless. I'm sorry, y'all, I just kicked y'all. But these books don't sit at the same height. That's kind of gross. What I was gonna say was, I want to do a Q&A, and I know I did a Q&A for quarter 2, but I was just answering questions about quarter 2, like my bookish reads, but I want to do a Q&A about me. So If you have any questions you want to ask me, whether it be about reading, my journey reading, or my personal life, my personal business, whether that be my past, my present, my family, whatever you want to ask me, you can just drop it below and I will answer honestly, unless I think it's too invasive, which I don't think anyone would ask any questions that's too invasive. I would like to think. But anyway, I will answer honestly. You can ask as many questions as you like. Obviously, the more the better. I feel like that's something I should do when I have more subscribers, but I don't care. Drop any questions you have for me down below. And again, I will answer as honestly as I can, unless I feel it to be too invasive. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Anywho, that is all. I wanted to talk your ear off. Thank you guys for watching. As always, happy reading. Bye.